Hello, I'm Greg Harrison with the USDA Market News Service here in St. Joe, Missouri with your National Feeder Cattle Summary this week. Feeder cattle prices this week, well, the calf market was very uneven throughout all trading regions and trading in wide price spreads and trends, and demand finding fairly inconsistent. We're getting ready to go into Halloween, and the calf market pulled a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde routine this week with prices just up and down all over. The calf markets this week pretty much traded steady to 5 higher to steady to 5 lower. There were spots where they were $10 lower and spots where they were 15 lower, then there are spots where they're $10 higher. So just depending on location and quality, very wide price trends this week on calves. Some of the better prices on calves, or especially the price trends, doesn't necessarily mean they were the highest, but where the trends were the best was in Oklahoma, where they received much needed rains to help boost calf prices, and for calves going on wheat, a lot of the prices in Oklahoma ranged anywhere from fully steady up to 10 higher. Availability of yearlings is progressively getting lighter each week as we get into the full fall calf run, but yearlings this week were mostly steady to firm. There were spots where they were 3 lower and spots where they were 3 higher, just depending really on where they sold during the week. Some of the most decline would have been early part of the week. Price levels remain very good and consistent for green yearlings and strings of fancy calves and long time weaned good calves, all still trading with very good demand. On the other side of the coin, there's it's just against the small consignments, mixed quality calves, unweaned fleshy type calves that all sell for the most part well behind the former. Some price factors this week, going back to last Friday, cattle futures all showed signs of a correction with sharp losses last Friday, and those losses also continued into Monday and Tuesday on the live and feeder cattle futures. Signs really looking at maybe some corrections there after a sharp rally over the last couple of weeks of $20 on fed cattle prices, and just looked like there might have met some resistance there last week and going into the first part of this week. The enormous fall and the rebound that this market has experienced is still trying to find some steadiness. Last week also the cold storage report came out, and it was pretty bearish. Found that there was on meat, on total red meat stocks and beef stocks and pork stocks, all a record high for the month of September. Pretty much showing that we have plenty of meat protein on hand at this time. Last week, fed cattle market was higher. It was about $2 higher last week at $138 on live prices, but most big feedlots felt pretty optimistic that they could get more money than that last week. Then this week, packers came out on Tuesday of this week and paid $138, fully steady with last week in the Southern Plains, and in Nebraska it was ranged from $138 to $138.50 on live prices. And this was pretty encouraging after a sharp sell-off that we've seen on Monday and Tuesday in the cattle futures. Cattle futures then on Wednesday responded with limit gains higher, giving the market, fed cattle market and feeder cattle market, pretty good psychology boost there. Looking at box beef values on Wednesday responded with very good gains of over $2 to close at $220.14 on choice product, and that's the highest it's been in a little over a month. Thursday, box beef closed 79 cents higher at $220.93. And looking at corn harvest, it's pretty much 75% completed, sorghum 71% completed, and soybeans are 87% completed at this time. So harvest is moving along at a pretty good pace there. Looking at some regional weighted averages this week, in the north central region, steers traded 600 to 700 pound steers traded about $4 lower at $198.01. 700 to 800 pounds pretty much steady with last week at $201.92. 800 to 900 pounds about $1 higher at $196.05. South central region steers weighing 500 to 600 pounds trading about $4 higher at $213.79. 600 to 700 pounds running about $4 lower at $194.54, and 700 to 800 pounds about $1 lower than last week at $193.53. In the southeast regions, steer calves weighing 400 to 500 pounds, trading about $1 higher at $214.80, and 500 to 600 pounds running also about $1 higher at $197.41. Thank you for listening. That's your markets for this week. Be back with you next week.